Warren Buffett was not born into a world of immense wealth, but into a world of numbers, ambition, and quiet determination. Born on August 30th, 1930, in Omaha, Nebraska, during the depths of the Great Depression, he was the only son of Layla and Howard Buffett. So how did this boy rise to build a billion-dollar empire? You're about to find out. Welcome to Scratch to Fortunes. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss these inspiring billionaire stories. His father was a stockbroker and later a United States congressman. This environment planted the first seeds of financial curiosity in young Warren's mind. He was a child who saw the world differently. He would spend hours in his father's brokerage office, chalking numbers on the blackboard. He saw making money not merely as a goal, but as a game, a complex, fascinating puzzle he was uniquely equipped to solve. Warren Buffett's journey into business began long before he ever purchased his first stock. At the tender age of 6, he bought 6 packs of Coca-Cola for 25 cents and sold each bottle for a nickel, pocketing a 5-cent profit on each pack. He took on a paper route for the Washington Post, a job that required incredible discipline. He treated his small paper route like a real business, meticulously tracking his income and expenses. Warren and a friend discovered another opportunity: pinball machines. They bought a used machine for $25 and split profits with local barbers. Soon they owned several machines across Omaha. This taught Warren about passive income, making money without actively working every hour. While most boys his age were playing with baseball cards, an 11-year-old Warren Buffett was already playing a different game, one with much higher stakes. He had been fascinated by the world of finance from a young age, often visiting his father's stock brokerage. It was there the seeds of his first investment were sown. This wasn't a gift or an allowance. Through relentless entrepreneurial hustle, delivering newspapers, selling chewing gum, and collecting lost golf balls, he had painstakingly saved his own capital. He took that hard-earned money, $114.75, a small fortune for a child in 1942, and bought 3 shares of an oil company, Cities Service Preferred, for himself, and convinced his sister Doris to do the same, purchasing 3 shares for her. This was not a random guess or a hot tip. It was a calculated decision. He had studied the company's reports, believing its stock was undervalued by the market. But the market rarely cares about an 11-year-old's analysis. Shortly after his purchase, the stock price of Cities Service dropped significantly. The weight of his first investment, and more importantly, his first time managing someone else's money, came crashing down. His sister Doris, seeing her investment shrink, nervously reminded him daily of their paper losses. The pressure was immense. Warren held on, fighting his own fear and his sister's anxiety. He waited until the stock rebounded to $40, then sold all 6 shares, locking in a tiny $5 profit. A moment of relief. But what happened next seared a lesson into his mind for life. Almost immediately after he sold, Cities Service stock soared to over $200 per share. His small $5 gain could have been nearly $1,000. The lesson was brutal and clear. Patience isn't just a virtue. In investing, it is the cornerstone of wealth. This painful experience taught him to see stocks not as flickering ticker symbols, but as what they truly are: fractional ownership in real businesses. The market's mood swings didn't change the company's intrinsic value. He realized his job was to be a business detective, searching for solid, wonderful companies that the market had temporarily overlooked or unfairly punished. This core philosophy, buy good companies at fair prices and hold on through the noise, was forged in the fire of this first trade. It was a lesson that cost him $1,000, but it would become the unshakable foundation upon which he would build his entire fortune. Warren's formal education was a journey to find mentors who could sharpen his instincts. At Wharton, he found the academic approach too theoretical and disconnected from real value creation. He transferred to the University of Nebraska to complete his degree. The turning point came when he discovered Benjamin Graham's The Intelligent Investor. Learning that Graham taught at Columbia, Warren applied specifically to study under his idol. At Columbia, Warren was a sponge, absorbing every piece of wisdom Graham offered. He was the only student to ever earn an A+ in Graham's class. After persistence, Graham hired him, and for 2 years Warren honed his skills working with the father of value investing. This apprenticeship was his final education before setting out on his own. After leaving his mentor Benjamin Graham's firm, Warren returned to Omaha in 1956, ready to start his own chapter. He was just 26 years old, determined to prove his investment philosophy far from the noise of Wall Street. He founded Buffett Associates Limited, operating from his home with $105,100 in capital, pooled mostly from family and friends. It was a humble beginning, built on the trust of those closest to him. His terms were revolutionary. He promised to only take profits after investors earned 6% annually, aligning his success with theirs. This simple rule built a foundation of unshakable trust, a stark contrast to Wall Street's fee-heavy approach. The pivotal moment came when he began investing in Berkshire Hathaway, a struggling textile company. The industry was in terminal decline, but after a dispute with management, Buffett took control, inadvertently owning a business he knew was doomed. Instead of reviving a dying industry, Buffett made a brilliant pivot, transforming Berkshire into a diversified holding company. He would use its meager cash flow to buy wonderful businesses, a masterstroke of capital allocation that would change everything. In 1967, he purchased National Indemnity Company. This Omaha insurer was the key. It provided the perfect investment engine that would power Berkshire's future, giving him access to a perpetual source of capital. Insurance companies collect premiums up front and pay claims later, creating a float of money. Buffett realized this float was essentially a massive interest-free loan that Berkshire could invest for its own profit, a concept that became his secret weapon. Using this float, Buffett and his indispensable partner Charlie Munger acquired a stunning portfolio. They bought durable, iconic brands they understood, like See's Candies, Coca-Cola, The Washington Post, and American Express. Berkshire became the ultimate expression of Buffett's genius, a monument to patience, rationality, and integrity. It solidified his status as history's most successful investor, the revered Oracle of Omaha. Warren Buffett's journey from newspaper boy to billionaire isn't just about financial genius. It's a masterclass in living a principled life. His wisdom offers timeless lessons, surprisingly simple and accessible to anyone ready to build their own path to prosperity. First, start early and relentlessly invest in yourself. Buffett famously said, "The more you learn, the more you earn." He devours books, understanding that compounding works with knowledge, not just money. Every skill you acquire builds upon the last, creating an intellectual fortune that pays dividends for life. Second, live well below your means. This isn't about deprivation, it's about discipline. Buffett, one of the world's wealthiest men, still lives in the same modest home he bought in 1958. He avoids lifestyle inflation, knowing every dollar saved is an employee working to build your future wealth. Third, think like a business owner, not a speculator. A speculator hopes a price goes up. An owner understands the business. Buffett invests within his circle of competence, focusing on a company's long-term value, not market noise. This patient approach is the bedrock of building sustainable wealth. Finally, and most importantly, guard your integrity. Buffett's famous warning, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it," is a powerful reminder. In a world of transactions, trust is the ultimate currency. By acting with honesty, you build goodwill that opens doors to opportunities money alone can't buy. To continue learning from the greatest financial minds, support the platforms sharing this knowledge. If you found value in these lessons, help us spread them. Like this video, share it, and subscribe to Scratch to Fortunes. Let's keep building our own paths to success, one timeless lesson at a time.